Hello there, YouTubers. You know, this land around here where I live, it's known to slip once in a while. And we had some mudslides, sinkholes and whatnot around here last year. And, actually, I'll show you across the canyon over there. They had some housing developments. Let me get you turned around here. Over there on that side. Some of those houses actually had some people move out. I think they condemned them for a while at least. I don't know what the resolve was, but the land slipped over there and messed up their water underground, their domestic water. So I never did hear the final outcome on that, but it was, I know there were some people had to leave their homes for a while. One time, I was in California working. This has been several years ago now, but I got a phone call from a neighbor and said, "Ken, you got a big sinkhole out behind your place up there." And I come home and starting at about the back of that old horse hauler there and up the hill a little ways and going over about 100 feet. And then 20 feet wide and about 10 feet deep, it just dropped. There's just a great big sinkhole there. And you go, well, where did it go? You know, and just dropped, disappeared. And that spring, later after the snow melted, you could see where it bubbled up down here in the canyon. And old Fred was sitting about where he is now, or out there a little further, I guess. Didn't have that shed yet, or that carport. And that ground just went underneath that truck and didn't move it at all and bubbled up down here. That's what this used to be, all canyon there, and there's a big pile of dirt there now. So that's how that came to be. But I was on my walk earlier and noticed the orchard across the canyon down there. There's a big mudslide and it looked like it wiped out part of the orchard, and then also a big corner of the orchard just dropped. Looks like it dropped about 15-20 feet. So I think I'm going to run down there and see if I can investigate that a little bit. I got a bit of a zoom on this camera and I might be able to get a pretty good look at it. Came out here the other day. I wanted to take Victor's son, George Jorge, for a ride in this old Dodge, and I let him drive the rat rod. It's fired up, been sitting out there all winter, and just started right up like an old Chevy should, just like you'd expect it to, no problems. And then we came over and started this old Dodge. It started pretty easy, and it's been sitting out here, I don't know, a couple of months, I guess, or 2.5 months maybe, and probably the first half of that was pretty cold weather, but I wouldn't call it a cold start. It wasn't terribly cold when we started, but it's been sitting here a while. Anyway, let's jump in this old Dodge and run down the road and see if we can get a little video. All right, hop in. Got my fat butt in this thing, finally, squeezed in here. Pretty tight with two cars in this, or two rigs in this carport. Let's see what happens here. Give her a couple of pumps. I don't think I need to choke it, maybe. Yeah, maybe I do. Just be easier. Hard to operate the camera and choke and start it. You know, it like that, didn't it? I like that pretty good. Warm up a little bit. 60 pounds of oil pressure. Pretty good. You know, I was bragging about all the gauges working on this thing, which they were. The speedometer works, and I was surprised the gas gauge worked, but it does. And then I noticed that the hand fell off of the alternator gauge. The discharge and charge hand is gone. Just fell off. I might be able to find it. Put it back on. Come on, buddy. I'm going to turn this camera off because I got a little bit of jockeying around to get out of here. And I need both hands. I ain't real stout right now. I had my follow-up visit with the surgeon, heart surgeon today. First time I'd seen him. It was 1 month ago yesterday that I had my little incident. And he says I'm doing real good. He said I look good, and my scars are all healing up real good, and Carrie's waving. Blood work looked good, and he said the x-ray was good. Of course, he said that bone's not healed up yet, but their wire was in place. Everything looked good where they wired the bone together. And, well, I asked him how long before I could run a chainsaw and swing a sledgehammer. He said that was a couple of months out yet. He said pain will be your indicator. If it hurts, don't do that. So every time I cough real deep or if I sneeze, boy, my chest, it tells me I've got a ways to go yet. So I just asked him, I said, I'll follow your directions, whatever you tell me. And he said, about 3 months, you'll be back to doing a lot of stuff that you used to do. So come on, Blue Diamond, you need to warm up a little there. That choke off all, I didn't have it off all the way. Sounds a little better now. I'm gonna stop here and show you guys what I'm talking about, and then we'll see if we can go down and get a closer look. About my limit for pulling. There's that emergency brake right there. Alright, let's look. It's so bright out here, I don't know if I can make anything out in this viewfinder. Hard to see. The whole corner. Well, I can't. It's so bright, I can't see nothing out here. There, the corner of that orchard just dropped right there. There it is. Yeah, I just fell. And then over here, there's a pine tree fell, mudslide, and it put a big swath of mud all down through that orchard there. Covered the road there, I see, and I can't see much in this viewfinder, but I think I'll run on down the road and get a little closer and see if I can get some video of it. I'm gonna have to put a bracket on that. Floating a little too much there. This old truck sure is fun though. Sure growing on me. I intended to just flip it when I got it. The more I drive it, the better it runs. And the better it runs, the more I like it. And I'm able to walk. I'm walking down to the bottom of the driveway and back. I'm gonna start doing that twice a day, and then back down to the gate and up, and then that gives me a full mile. I'm gonna start doing that twice a day. But this steep part here, I'm able to walk that now without having to stop and rest. Now, I'm not very fast, mind you, but I can walk it without stopping. And A lot of healthy people can't do that, so I guess I'm doing all right. And I'll shut up about that. You guys probably heard enough of me whining about this little incident I had. So I've got some footage, actually, some old footage, lost footage or found footage, or digiteach, whatever you want to call it. Some video I took before I got sick. You know, I didn't realize I was sick. Looking back on it now, I can see where I was pretty sluggish all winter. I just didn't do a whole lot of mess with this old truck a little bit, but I didn't work on the rat rod, and that's not like me. And I wasn't making videos, and that's not like me, you know, so I couldn't see it at the time, but now looking back, I can see where I was just kind of dragging all winter. And like I said the other day, shoveling those carports was just a lot harder than it really should have been, it seemed like. So, well, I'll be a going concern next year, though. Get all healed up. I want to creep off over here and see if I can see that, how bad that fell. Can't tell much about that mudslide at this angle, but I might go on down the road and get a better look at it. No, I can't. I don't think I'm going to be able to see much from here. No. Well, I'll shut this off till I get a better angle for you guys, and we'll take another look at it. Well, there's that mudslide, and that's where yeah, there's a mudslide over there. And then this is where the corner of that orchard just dropped. Looks like it dropped about 15 feet or so. I don't know, they lost some trees, quite a few. And then you can't tell much about how wide that slide is up there, but there's two of them up there, come off of that hill. Made a pretty big path down through that orchard. But I'm not going to be able to see a whole lot from the road, I don't think. Anyway, I just, you know, I got kind of a boring life right now, so this is about all I'm up to. Out looking at mudslides. Exciting, ain't it? I don't know how well you'll see that, but there's a pine tree that fell out of the ground and come sliding down the hill there too.